Okay, so still hate how my hair looks. Hopefully gonna get a haircut today, but we have important stuff to talk about today. Let's get right into it. Xbox had their latest conference on Thursday, which at the time of recording was yesterday, and it went pretty well. I'll talk about my thoughts on the conference overall and how it compared to Sony's conference. But for now, let's go ahead and run through some of the games that kind of caught my eye and what we need to look out for in Xbox's next conference, which, to be honest, I have no idea. So I'm not sure what studios we still need to see, but we'll figure it out. So let's talk about the game that they showed first, their flagship title for the Series X, Halo Infinite. I'm going to be completely honest. I think they chose just a weird way or a weird demo level to show Halo Infinite off on. I don't think it was the best choice for them. I think it was just a bland combat section followed by a push the button, which was very reminiscent of Halo 5. And obviously, Halo 5's campaign of kill Guardians and push the button wasn't the best thing in the world. Now, I will say that some of the weapons that they showed off were kind of new. I think there was one called the Commando, there was one called the Ravager, I think, which was the 3-burst like plasma thing, and then there was like the new, I forget what it's called. There was like the Brute shotgun pistol. I think they brought that back and or revamped it. So we learned that. We learned that Brutes can hurl grunts at you. We learned that Chief has a grapple hook that I think is mainly going to be used for movement, because using a grapple hook to get close to your enemies in Halo just doesn't seem smart. I don't think Halo has ever incentivized being close to the enemies, especially in campaign. And like on legendary difficulty, that's going to be just a death threat. Other important things to note is that I think the Warthog sounds great still. I love the sound of the Warthog, but we're not here to talk about sound design quite yet. What they showed about the levels, the world, the map, makes me feel like it's kind of like this semi-open hybrid world. I would think more in the line of Dragon Age Inquisition, or maybe even Borderlands, where it's large open worlds connected by load gates. Dragon Age Inquisition is vast, incredible worlds that you have to fast travel between to get from point to point. So I could see both of those things being true, or like a mix of those two being true. But I by no means think that Halo Infinite is going to be a true open world Halo game. That would be kind of weird, kind of not the focus of what I think Halo wants to be. I don't think it would line up very well with other things. There were rumors that it was going to be games as a service, kind of like Destiny. No news on that, although I kind of want to say it's not going to be based on what we've seen. And the next thing we need to talk about is that it is 4K textures, 60 FPS on console, on Xbox Series X, not on PC, because it is releasing on PC. We know that because it's already on Steam. It's already on Steam for pre-order. So if it's already on Steam for pre-order, we know it's going to be on Steam, obviously. Halo Infinite's going to come to the PC, which is going to be really cool. It seems to be the trend for the Xbox conference in general, is all of these games are going to be on PC as well for the most part. Even their console launch exclusives, I think that just means that they're going to initially launch on the Xbox and then move to PC because they want to make more money on it. I could probably do another couple minutes on Halo, but I don't think it's worth it. I think I've talked about all I needed to talk about. I want to see more gameplay. I want to see multiplayer. Forge is interesting, but it's not really what I want to see, really. I want to see the custom game system to see if they bring back Halo 3 custom games. I want to see any other game modes that they're bringing back into the game. Firefight or, stuff like that. I would love to see stuff like that. I want to know how long the campaign is. I want to know what customization looks like. For armor sets, I want to know what progression feels like in multiplayer. I want to know a bunch of stuff about the game that we didn't see. And moving forward, I hope we get more info about it as we get closer to launch, which is said to be holiday 2020, so expect a November launch. It'll launch with the Xbox Series X. They announced a lot of games that were kind of just like, Grounded was there, which did a jab at Cyberpunk, which is kind of cool to see. Obsidian also announced the DLC for Outer Worlds, the Gorgon location, which is interesting. Although I played through Outer Worlds, I thought it was a good game, but I wouldn't buy it. I got it through Game Pass. All these games that are coming out on Game Pass, which is great because Game Pass is probably the single best deal you can get in gaming at the current moment, especially if you don't get the Ultimate Edition. The Ultimate Edition is phenomenal. It's what I pay, $15 a month. You get Gold and Game Pass, and I get access to like all the first-party titles ever. I get put on that. I get Halo Infinite. I'll get Halo Infinite as long as I keep paying. Destiny 2, if you're interested in that, all the current expansions will be free up to that. I think it's also available on PC stuff, so you can get it on PC and you can download your games there. There's a lot of stuff on Game Pass that I think is definitely worth your time. Other games that were announced that I was really interested in, Avowed looked really cool. That's a title from Obsidian as well. I'm pretty sure it's Obsidian. Yeah, it's Obsidian. And it's more like Lord of the Rings fantasy-y. They did say it takes place in Eora, which does, if I'm not mistaken, put it in the world of Pillars of Eternity, which is interesting. I know nothing about the Pillars of Eternity universe, really, but I know the game a little bit, but I haven't played him at all. There's some Doctor Strange magic stuff. The sword was really reminiscent of Sting, in complete honesty, from Lord of the Rings. You know, he did the whole magic thing where he made a square, or what was it? I think it was a square, and then when he put his hand out, it like, whoa, Doctor Strange purple magic stuff. I'm a sucker for fantasies with magic, especially a sucker for fantasies that incentivize using like a battle mage type thing with a sword and magic. That looks really cool. I'm interested to see how the world develops. I want to see more. I always want to see more. I just want to see more. Showed off Forza, not even like Forza Motorsport. Looks very pretty. They know how to make car games look really pretty. What's new? Turn 10's great at that. Don't see much reason to talk about it. It's a car game that looks pretty. If you're into that, you're probably really excited. If you're not, it's just another game that looks really pretty and is a car game. So take that at face value. Stalker 2. If you haven't played Stalker, I don't blame you. It's like a really old franchise. Even I haven't put that much time into it. It's an interesting game, that's for sure. Stalker 2 looks pretty good. Looks-wise, it looks pretty good. The setting is very doom and gloom, post-apocalyptic stuff. We didn't see much of the turn in the realm of gameplay, but we did see the Stalker Bolt, which is a mechanic in the game. We saw like a weird baby thingy that has like no correlation to the previous games at all. Weird game. Interesting, but weird. Heard from the people who made Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. We heard that it's being set in Iceland, and I think that's about it, which is unfortunate because I know a lot of people were really looking forward to Senua, but that's, obviously we didn't get it, which is kind of unfortunate. They announced a lot of things. Ori's coming to Xbox Series X, or Ori's coming to like a higher frame rate, better graphics type stuff, or Will o' the Wisps, that is, Ori 2, or whatever you want to call it. There wasn't too much standout except for those titles, except for at the very end, we got confirmation that Playground Studios, which is the team that normally works on Forza Horizon, they are working on the next Fable. Now, if you remember Fable, you'll know that it was a game series that was like, it's kind of a cult series at this point. I think a lot of people know it, but I don't know if a lot of people really like it. I'm a person who enjoyed the games, so I'm all for a new Fable, so long as a Peter Molyneux is not going to be involved in it, which is good because that dude was just a liar when it came to his games, which is really unfortunate. But the setting, from what we've seen, seems more fantasy-ish. The characters, or we didn't see a character, we didn't see gameplay, we didn't see anything besides like a Tinkerbell fairy getting eaten by a frog, some really pretty flowers, and then a big castle in the distance. And then Fable, not Fable 4, just Fable, which leads me to believe this is a series reboot, not a next installment. I'm interested. We're not going to see anything about that for a while, I don't think, but I would love to see more about it in the coming months, at least a little bit, or right when the console releases, I'd like to see some more stuff. But I think that's all that was at this conference that I kind of wanted to talk about. I know it really wasn't a lot, but then again, I don't think there was a lot except for Halo, Avowed, and Fable that like really caught my eye. I was hoping that Destiny 2 dropped a trailer, I guess, which was interesting. Bungie was at the conference. That was interesting, I guess. We got to see more Stasis stuff. We got to see more stuff. It said pre-alpha footage, I think, on the trailer, which means, if you're not aware, alpha obviously comes before beta. Alpha is normally something that is done completely in-house with QA builds. Sometimes we'll bring in like influencers or really high-profile people to test that build, but normally it's just in-house stuff. And then pre-alpha just means it's not even in the build yet. Pre-alpha means that it's just individual levels at this point. No real continuity in the game. So I imagine that was just a heavily scripted segment of whatever they were doing. It almost looked like a strike from Destiny. They showed off some of the supers. They showed off that you can create ice walls that like create platforms, which is a really dope mechanic that we're going to get to see more of. Very interested in Destiny 2 Beyond Light. Very interested. Going to be on Game Pass. All current expansions will be on Game Pass. And Beyond Light, I think, also is. That wasn't really made clear. I'd have to look again to be 100% certain on that. Moving forward, Xbox still needs to show stuff from 6 other studios, and off the top of my head, I can't name what they are. The one studio that I can remember that we haven't seen anything from is Mojang, which is Minecraft. We didn't see anything from Mojang. So Minecraft Dungeons, or like a Minecraft Dungeons expansion, or a patch, or anything related to Minecraft in general, we have not seen anything from them. I'm trying to think. I really don't know who all they've acquired recently. I know it's a lot, but so many of these studios produce kind of like not really indie games because they have the budget of Microsoft. I guess AA is the best way to phrase it. But even then, I think that's a little disingenuous. But that's about what they're producing. So they said they're going to have an X conference. No announcement of when. Interested to see it. I would have liked to see more gameplay. I always want to see more gameplay during this stuff. So with that said, how do I think it compared to Sony's? I think Sony won. Like, I really do. Like, and I say that as an Xbox fanboy. Like, I play the only console I really play is Xbox, and I play that with my friends all the time. So I'm not like saying it because I'm a biased Sony fanboy. I own all of them. I have a PC, I have a Switch, I have a PS4, and an Xbox. I have all the consoles. I can play whatever game I want, whenever I want, right? And because of that, I feel like the PS5 is just a better deal for most people. Because there seems to be some better titles on there. We have God of War. We got Ratchet, the new Ratchet game. Miles Morales Spider-Man, which I admit is supposed to be like a standalone short story type thing, but still, it's still going to be really fun. And then you have, Ghost of Tsushima just came out, which I haven't played, but it looks phenomenal, and I kind of do want to play it, but I want to play with my friends. So, who knows? Like, I think it's just whatever you want and whatever you're swayed by. But currently, I still feel like the only thing Microsoft has is Halo. But here's the kicker. Because Microsoft has been pushing PC gaming and Windows gaming so hard, all of those titles that I've just talked about will presumably, or Halo and Destiny in this case, are already on PC. What's the point of buying an Xbox for Halo if you can just get it on a PC? Why would I buy the Series X if I can get an Xbox, if I can get something like... The only reason I would is if crossplay wasn't enabled, which I don't think it will be. And I think they do that intentionally, because I was thinking about this before. I see no reason for Microsoft to deny crossplay between Xbox and Windows gaming on all of their on all applicable titles. I see no reason for them to do that. It would make zero sense. Unless it's some huge technical thing that I'm not aware of, and if for some reason you know this huge technical thing, let me know so I can correct myself. I think this is intentional so people can choose to play on Xbox or PC depending on their preferences or where their games are or where their friends are or something like that. And I know that people are going to buy the Series X because it's cheaper than a PC. Their friends are on the their friends are going to get it. And, you know, for the average at-home, you know, working man who plays video games, a console is a better choice than a PC on most occasions because it's easy to set up, low maintenance, don't have to worry about upgrading it at all. It's cheaper, and most games that come out on PC are also on Xbox, also on console, just in a slightly inferior version because they can't handle the high-grade specs or anything like that. So I do think Microsoft is trying to dig themselves out of this we only make consoles thing. I think that's their game plan. I think they want to push to be more more PC and more games oriented than console oriented. But still, it's going to be interesting to see where they go. I think Sony is still beating them out a little bit. There's rumors that Sony's having another conference soon. I kind of don't believe that unless they're going to announce their like release date and prices or something. I don't know what other games they would have to show besides like God of War or something. But the next big thing I think is going to happen in gaming will probably be, besides all the Summer Games Fest stuff that's going on, maybe Gamescom, which is at the end of August. You guys can look out for that, I guess. I'll probably be covering that. It's in like a month from now. I'll go ahead and end it here. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate all the support. If you guys want to follow me on social media, my Twitter's right here. Also, linked down in the description below is my Twitter and my Instagram, which I don't use my Instagram much, but if you want to follow me on it, go ahead. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this type of content. Like the video to help me out in the YouTube algorithm, and then also just let me know that you're enjoying the content. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me or tweet me at Twitter, or put it in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer it. So until then, I will see you all in about a week from when this video is releasing. I have no idea what we're going to cover, but I guess that's what this week-long period between videos is for. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.